Hi folks, sorry for break in the videos. Life got in the way. We've still been here, but it's been pretty wintry like it is today. Kind of drizzly rain, pretty cold. These new driveway trees are doing okay. Bit of damage from sheep as anticipated. You can see they've ripped a limb and taken some cambium off there, taken some of the bark. Should be okay. The ash tree, yeah, looks fine. It's the original golden elm. Nice buds. Yes, it's kind of very wintry weather. The rain is just steady. It's actually pretty good rain. So lots of bulbs up in the meadow garden now. Still not very advanced. A few flowers. And even some crocus. I think they're crocus anyway. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's a crocus. I didn't plant that, so it must be a marked job. This native area which separates these two gardens and eventually will not be fenced in once there's no sheep in the woodland is really coming along now. The idea with these wattle trees was to create an understory to bring in little birds which often like the protection of that sort of dense understory under the eucalypts there. It's taken them a while to grow to that point, but now they seem to be just doing really well, and the two have sort of merged into each other and does exactly that, provides that sort of understory, and hopefully they should produce some beautiful wattle flowers. So I've continued with the path in Leah's garden. The path looks good and daffodils appearing everywhere. And Leah's extended bed itself had a few little issues with the rock wall, which I keep. These rocks, every now and then I just sort of keep building it up. But for the most part it's holding up and it looks good, and I think it's actually functional in that it is keeping rabbits out, I think. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this garden come to life, and I'm particularly looking forward to seeing the forsythia as well. So this is a sort of small shrubby tree with quite big yellow flowers, and I actually saw forsythias planted amongst bulb flowers at a nursery here in central Victoria. It just looks spectacular. Ideally, the tree blossoms and the flowers sort of bloom at the same time. I don't know if that'll happen here, but it certainly is doing well in that spot. They left you. They're up the top. He was down there eating some grain in the shed. The others had enough grain and gone back up the top to continue eating hay. I mentioned that by Leo's bed here, I'm going to do another separate bed, and the plan is for summer autumn flowers to go in there, and I'm thinking dahlias mostly. So this, I think, will be quite nice. The paths sort of make it way more functional. This is another bed that then I can just, I'm going to build up a little bit more in terms of stabilise a bit more with some old tree limbs. It's now obviously overfilled with soil, most of which has come from the paths, the scraping from the paths. Maybe sunflowers, maybe, I don't know, pumpkins, potentially even potatoes. But that's a space that I have available. And yeah, I think this is just a really nice functional area now with a mixture of different plantings. And between the two trees up here, so this is a maple tree and that is a damson plum. I'm just going to get a seat and put it here, and then I can sit by Leah's garden and chill out with him. Picture's still there, so that worked well. And in the orchard, garlic is up. Need to just come in and weed this a little bit, but I think most of the bulbs have seem to have come up, so I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 cloves out of there. I should have done more. I think I should have done more, but that's the problem, putting bulb flowers in random spots. Actually, it's not a random spot. There was a tree. There was a pink lady apple here, and I moved the apple. And, I never dealt with the bulbs, but I need to come and remove these and see more. I don't know how they got there. I think this is me being lazy and just having random bulbs, and I dig a hole in a place that looks convenient and I just chuck them in there, but that's definitely not convenient there. And what I'm going to do is extend this bed, which is where the potatoes were, down to here, and come late September probably do potatoes, because those potatoes were really delicious. This little plum, you can see it's really budding up, almost to the point of bursting its buds already. So it doesn't stay dormant for long. Sheep are all good. I can't believe this old girl's still alive. She's quite aged now, but all down there having a bit of feed. I suppose winter generally is a bit of a miserable time for them, but they've got the woodland to be in. They've got some sheltered areas, and they get bales of hay and grain every week. I think that should keep them going. I still don't know what's going to become of this little garden area here behind the shed. It's entirely closed off, and I was putting some trees in there, but they didn't do great. So the golden elm that is now down at the driveway was there, and the claret ash was down on the other side there. They survived, they just didn't put on a lot of growth. This is a mulberry, which is going okay, but not doing anything great. And then on the other side is a nashi pear, and that is actually doing quite well, as is the pine tree here. The pine tree will definitely stay. It seems kind of not sensible to move a nashi pear tree when it's doing well, but if it doesn't really sort of go with what we're going to do with the space, then maybe it does make sense to move it. Mark is thinking of using it as a space to put bees in. So blossom trees of any kind then make sense. But yeah, not sure. Whoa, it's cold.